When a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer and her treatment includes a mastectomy, she has to make decisions that will impact her physically and emotionally. Welcome to the Inspired Vitality Show. I'm Catherine, and in this video, I'm going to give you some tips for dressing post-mastectomy. These tips are what I've learned along the way, but I'm not a fashionista, so if you have tips to pass along to others, throw them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. First of all, if you're watching this video, you may be facing a single or double mastectomy, or perhaps recently had surgery. My goal is to help you feel good in your body throughout the changes that are occurring. There are different scenarios that take place when a patient is told that they have cancer and they need to have a mastectomy. Some women choose to remain flat and never have reconstruction. Some women choose to have what's called a direct-to-implant, which means implants are put in at the time of the mastectomy. And then there is mastectomy with expanders. The expanders are put in partially inflated, and they are expanded over time, and later the expanders are taken out and the implants are put in. I did what is called delayed reconstruction. This means I went flat for a year or so while I was going through the treatment and healing, and then I began the reconstruction process. I personally chose to do this because I wanted to get the cancer out of my body as soon as possible. It takes time to choose a plastic surgeon and coordinate surgery with the general surgeon that is doing the mastectomy. So I wanted to focus on treatment and then reconstruction. I previously did a video about the breast reconstruction guidebook that goes more into different types of reconstruction. So if you are in the position to need this information, be sure to check out that video. All of these options are highly personal, but whatever you and your doctor determine what is best for you, you will likely go through various stages of changes to your breast. No matter the method of reconstruction, if any, a mastectomy patient is likely to have surgical drainage tubes. Prior to a mastectomy, I was sent to a store to get what is called a mastectomy camisole. I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But what I want to explain first is the surgical drainage tubes are put in place to drain fluid after a mastectomy. They come out your sides. They are long tubes. They have these bulbs at the end. And periodically you have to drain the fluid from the bulb that collects in the bulbs. So this here is a camisole, and they come in different styles. This particular one zips up the front. So the purpose is to keep those tubes close to your body, tuck the bulbs inside these pockets, zip it up, and wear this underneath your other clothing. And so these are fine. They work just fine. They're nice. However, if, for example, you don't have insurance that covers something like this, another alternative is to simply wear a men's t-shirt, or rather undershirt. And you want one that has these deep armholes. And the reason is because the tubes will come up through the armholes. And then what you can do is wear a zippered hoodie over this, hopefully if you're in a casual environment, and you wear the hoodie inside out. So the pockets are close to your body. You tuck the drainage bulbs into the pockets and zip up the hoodie, and you're good to go. Okay, so moving on, if you choose to go flat, short-term or long-term, it can be hard to find tops that fit well. Because really, let's face it, women's clothes are made for breasts. For a casual look, an athletic top is less generous in the breast area sometimes, so something like this would be an option. Another thing you can try if you are struggling with that excess material in tops and you're flat is men's t-shirts for a casual look. Men's t-shirts, of course, are not designed with that excess material for breasts. So it's an option if you want, if that's your personal choice. For those who choose reconstruction, once you no longer have the drainage tubes, your body is going to be constantly changing. And honestly, it may not be symmetrical. I had a situation where I was actually quite lopsided for several months. When the plastic surgeon goes in, he actually creates a pocket that holds the expander or that will eventually hold the implant. And for me, I got the expanders, and the expanders are oval, and one of my expanders rotated in the pocket so that it was actually vertical. So I had one that was horizontal, one that was vertical, and in tight-fitting clothing, it was very obvious. So I found tops like this one to work well. A little bit of V-neck, which I prefer, but then it has gathers and a nice neck that kind of distracted or brought the eye up from the chest area. So something like this is a good option. And also something a little bit fancier would be something like this that has another layer on top. So this one has another layer, and it's very decorative. It's got a lot of print to it. Prints and gathers, those are going to be what you'll want to focus on. They're going to help camouflage or distract. Another idea would be to simply wear a camisole and a button-down shirt, especially if you're in an office situation. That's another way to dress it up. And then, of course, there's scarves. If you are not in a super warm environment, and you can get lighter weight ones as well, but this is a nice way to dress up your look and still have a little bit of camouflage. Now, I don't want anyone to think that you should feel ashamed of any choices or appearance that you may be experiencing. I just know that I was uncomfortable with my body when I was flat and at the beginning of Reconstruction. Because I was uncomfortable, I tended to round my shoulders, and that resulted in some shoulder pain. So over time, I learned what clothes would help me to feel confident and look good, and I'm sharing this information so that you can feel good throughout your process. This is ultimately not about fashion, but rather it's about giving you a boost so that you can feel good about yourself when life is hard. I'm going to close by quoting part of a beautiful song by Sarah Bareilles. I truly love this song. It's called She Used to Be Mine, and part of it goes like this. It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through the back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you. You're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two for the girl that I knew. Be sure to leave me your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.